Hey everyone, Sean Joel here from Elevation Leaders, where we help you 10x your business valuation. Going to talk to you today about a subject that I see a lot of people confusing out there in businesses, and that's learning to wear different hats and understanding your different roles in an organization. I specifically want to talk to you about the difference between being an entrepreneur slash owner versus a CEO, COO, president, or vice president, for example, and how you need to separate those two. So when we get into our strategic planning sessions, a lot of different topics come up. Things such as, where do we want to take this business? Do we want to grow exponentially fast? We want to focus more on bottom line and really fix the foundational operations of the business. And a lot of these debates have me realizing that the discussions often turn around things that should be discussed between shareholders slash entrepreneurs versus an actual president and vice president in a business. So let me give you an example. Recently, speaking with some clients, we were having this big debate between wanting to grow with no profitability versus stabilizing growth. So not growing quite as quickly on the top line revenue, but really focusing on bottom line profitability. And what I came to realize quickly in this discussion is that although we were 11 people around the room, there was a discussion that needed to be had beforehand between the two owners of the business, because what they wanted to decide as shareholders actually was going to set the direction and help them as president and vice president in the business make the key decisions. But you couldn't do both at the same time. So what happened is you had this very confusing situation where everyone around the room was wondering, okay, what is going to be decided by the president, vice president, but when they should have been wearing their ownership hat at that point and having a separate discussion. So what we did at that point, we said, you know what, let's park this discussion. We have not come up with the right information yet to make the right decisions. Why don't the two owners go away from the table, spend the evening discussing exactly what their long-term vision is, figure out if you want to grow exponentially fast and cut on profit, or do you want to grow in a more stable way and really focus on bottom line. Once they came back to us with that decision, it was just so much easier as a strategic leadership team to come up with the right execution and strategic decisions to move the company forward, because now we were given a very clear path and we just can take that path, build the strategy and execution around it, make sure we have the right people in the right seats, and it helped us move forward in a much, much more coherent way. And so you may run into this situation if you're personally wearing a few different hats in a business. You have to be very, very careful. For example, let's say you're in charge of both finance and HR. Well, you have to know how to separate those two and be very careful, not constantly merging them back together. Because let's say, for example, your financial mind might just be in cost-cutting mode and you might be affecting HR in a certain way in your HR decisions based purely on the way you're handling your finance role. But at the same time, perhaps the business is investing for the future and you have to be very careful to separate talent from finance and understand what the company really needs, and not only be looking at it through the lens of someone who's got, that financial numbers mindset at that time. So you have to be really careful. Number one, what you need to do is to really understand your role or roles, if you have multiple roles, and learn to separate those hats. Don't let it all get mixed up. So step one is to figure out what your exact roles are. Have a clear defined scorecard, so success outcomes, responsibilities, and core competencies for each of those roles, and make sure that every time you fall into these situations with your teams where you're discussing these different subjects, elements, aspects of your business, that you're not getting caught using the wrong hat at the wrong time, because it is truly detrimental to the business and it will take you 2 to 3 to 4 steps backwards, and when you're really obviously trying to progress forward. So I hope this has been helpful. Always remember to figure out the hats, the roles, and wear them the right way. If you have any comments or questions, send them my way. I'll definitely get back to you quickly. And if you know anybody who would like to see this video, please do share it with them and make sure that you spread the word. Thanks. Have a great day.